Hey guys, it's Sean, and we have a lot of exciting news on the Batman front after a bunch of uncertainty. Warner Brothers has decided that Matt Reeves is finally going to get his film, tentatively titled The Batman, into theaters in 2021. And there's some big changes in the casting department, primarily who's playing Batman. Ben Affleck has confirmed that he will not return to the role. There are a lot of names that are being thrown around, and I think some of them work better than others for various reasons. You're hearing names like Michael Fassbender and Jake Gyllenhaal, and those two in particular, because they're tied to existing superhero properties, I don't see either of them necessarily considering themselves as a potential candidate for the next Batman. Another name that we're hearing from fans is Hamm, but if they're getting rid of Ben Affleck because he's too old to play a Batman in the type of story that Matt Reeves wants to play, then I don't understand why you would cast Hamm. So, there are three names that have sort of risen to the surface of the rumor mill gossip chatter that I want to dive into because they seem to make a lot of sense for a number of different reasons. So let's start breaking them down right now. But before we get into it, do me a favor, go down, hit subscribe. You will. The first name that I want to discuss is Robert Pattinson of Twilight fame, and I already hear you complaining about the fact that Robert Pattinson is wrong for the role, but I'm going to argue that you're probably wrong. And maybe it's because you never saw him in anything outside of Twilight. Yes, that franchise put him on the map, but he has definitely gone on to work with some exciting directors ever since then, and challenging himself in dramatic properties. I even think that Pattinson has the right build to specifically play Bruce Wayne. He may have to bulk up to actually wear the Batman costume, but if Matt Reeves is looking to cast a younger version of the crime fighter who's doing more detecting than actual physical fighting, then Robert Pattinson could be an inspired choice. Karl Urban is another name that's being talked about by fans. We can almost judge how his face would look in the Batman mask based on what Karl Urban did recently in Dredd, and he almost played a Batman-type character in that reboot of that franchise, where he essentially had to go into one big building and raid-style work his way from the bottom of the building to the top of it and go after a sci-fi villain that he had to take down. Part of the reason beyond his physicality why I think Karl Urban would be a really good fit for Batman is because he's about to lose a major franchise. We did a video here on CinemaBlend where we talked about the fact that Star Trek 4 is going to go on the shelf for now as Paramount figures out what they're going to do about it, which means that Karl Urban, who was part of that franchise, needs work. And why wouldn't Matt Reeves consider him to potentially play Bruce Wayne and the Caped Crusader in this Batman reboot? Personally, if you let me cast the role of Batman, I'm giving it to Oscar Isaac. If you add Oscar Isaac to any movie, it instantly makes that film better. He's an exciting actor, he has an immense talent. He hasn't done something in the superhero realm yet, although he's been really busy with Star Wars, but I would assume that his commitment to that franchise is ending with Episode 9, and I know his filming on that has passed. Oscar Isaac has definitely shown to be the type of actor who likes to mix working with prestigious directors and working with tentpole blockbusters. He has worked with the Coen brothers, he has worked with J.J. Abrams, obviously, and Rian Johnson in the Star Wars franchise. Now, I think that DC has a hit on their hands with the rebooted Batman anyway, but if you put Oscar Isaac in that role, I am there opening night because his talent just demands that type of attention. What's exciting about this casting is that this is a fresh start for the DCEU. They're not going to try to pretend that whoever gets cast as Batman is taking over for Ben Affleck. It's essentially a reboot for the character, and that's how it's going to, I assume, line up with the existing properties in the DCEU. So that's how we feel about the names that are being sort of bandied about by fans. But who do you want to see as the new Batman? There are plenty of choices to choose from, so be sure to head down to the comments section and weigh in with who you think would be a perfect choice for Matt Reeves' new Batman project coming to theaters in 2021. While you're down there, again, hit the subscribe button. You'll want to stay up to date with everything that we're doing here at CinemaBlend, and that's the way to do it.